Well, hello everyone. Back at my kitchen table, but this is not a Thoughts from the Kitchen Table. If you like, it's an appeal, a direct appeal to all of my friends in Australia. Before we get into it, have a little look at this. I don't know where to start really. Just the most sensational end to the Junior Championship. And when we have a sensational battle, sadly someone comes out on top and someone doesn't. It hasn't worked out in your favour this time, but what a year you have had.
Yeah, pretty unbelievable to be honest. Of course, we've been super consistent and 5 podiums out of 5 starts, and our lowest finish was a second place. So we can be really proud of that and pat ourselves on the back for that. But ultimately, it wasn't enough in the end. Obviously, now the Rally Star program, which has been fantastic, basically comes to an end now. And obviously, I didn't get the prize for winning the championship. So yeah, we're sort of on the bones of the arse, and yeah, we have to think what to do next.
Australia needs its next big Rally Star. They just need to dig deep, don't they? The Australian rallying community.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and I mean, I've been getting good support from Australians, locals, and lots of people around me. But yeah, ultimately, I mean, the sport's so big and it's a huge business over here, which basically it isn't in Australia. It's more of a hobby. So yeah, I mean, we can be proud of what we've done with the Australian flag on our car. That's for sure.
Yeah, so that obviously was the biggest, the brightest, the most exciting talent to come out of Australian rallying in decades, in absolute decades. Taylor Gill is a driver with the perfect package. He has got speed, he has got reliability, he's got nous, he's got rally craft, he's got patience. He really has all of the skills needed to take him to the very top of the sport. To come over from Australia at 18 years of age, to base himself in Europe, to pursue his dreams, and to get so close is devastating, But it's not the end. We all know that rallying is enormously expensive. And we all know that to make it to the very top, you need skills, you need attributes, you need a bit of good fortune, but above all else, you need money. You need money, sadly, these days, and quite a lot of money. And what I would say to all of my friends in Australia, and I have so many good friends in Australia, as everyone knows, I'm heavily invested in Australian rallying. I love it out there. I think the rallying community in Australia is amongst the best in the world. What I would say to you is there is nothing will do more for the sport of rallying in Australia than finding the first Australian World Rally Champion. Now, he's a young man. Can he be the World Rally Champion? Yes, he can, with the right program, with the right backing, with the right opportunity. And there are opportunities coming in 2027. Young, talented, ambitious, and potential rally-winning drivers. There aren't many of them around. There really aren't, but Gill is one of them. And I think he'll be a man in demand, but he needs to keep this momentum going. And to do that, he needs funding. And as I said, if we're looking at Australian rallying and what we can do to make Australian rallying good and great again, nothing will do more than having a young, achieving Australian doing great things on the world stage. That will do more for Australian rallying than anything else. And do you know what? It's a little frustrating. You look at track racing and you look at the amount of money that, say, Motorsport Australia put behind certain drivers, and you think, well, you know what? Put some money behind Taylor Gill. It's going to take more than Motorsport Australia. It really is. So, anyone that is thinking, I think I can maybe do something for this kid. And I know a lot of you already are. Because I see your names on the side of his car, on his overalls, and it fills my heart with joy to see some of you who I know are, enjoying your rallying, but not absolute multi-millionaires, people who are working hard at their own businesses, making a bit of money and putting a good chunk of that money into Taylor Gill. It is wonderful to see that, but we need more of an effort. We need the whole of the Australian rally community to come together to support this young man. Because not only will it be good for him, it will be great for Australian rallying. I don't know how we go about this. I don't know how we formalise it, or I don't know how Taylor formalises it, but you all know how to get in touch with him. He's got his own website. It may require a bit of formalisation, you know, I can talk to people about that, and I'm very happy to do that. I'm very happy to be, if you like, the catalyst for putting something together. Any way at all I can help, I absolutely will. So, folks, it's an appeal. You don't need to be told. You don't need people like me preaching at you and telling you where you should spend your money. But I do hear an awful lot of people in Australia saying, you know, how do we make Australian rallying great again? How do we get there? How do we make rallying the most exciting sport in Australia? There is no better way than having a champion. There is no better way than having a driver at the very top level of the sport. Look how popular Formula One is with young Oscar Piastri just now. If he becomes the Formula One champion of the world, there'll be nothing touching Formula One in Australia. If Taylor Gill in 4 or 5 years' time can go on to be a world rally champion, we put rallying on the same level almost as Formula One in Australia. And that's where it belongs, and that's where it should be. And this is the greatest opportunity that Australian rallying has had in many, many years. There aren't many in Australia who have had the balls to up sticks and head to Europe and test their talents against the very best in the world. Taylor Gill's done that, and he has shown, you know, the result will say that Johansson has taken the win, Johansson gets the prize, and Johansson is a hugely talented young driver. But you look back at the season, and who was the best driver? It depends how you measure it, you know, it really does. But I would say Gill is right up there, and he's got every opportunity. But now is the time for the good people of Australian rallying to come together and back the talent.